Scott from Wessex Blades. I finally completed the initial Kellen neck knife sheath. Now, in order to present it, that's what it is as a concept. But I mean, going back to all the stuff that I did GCSE wise with students and A levels, there's just so much background stuff that goes into coming up with an idea, concept, outcome like this. The initial idea is just, I've got 2 sheets of sketches, coming up with different ways of doing it. I thought about having it like a book, but what I wanted to offer was a chance of having any ferro rod down the side, and so of course if I had a larger or smaller handle, having one that was individually cut and opened out and closed with the thicknesses all like welted out. And I suddenly thought, well, if I did a fold over sheath, this is how it started out. That was my sketch, and you can see that the West key is still got like 25mm space. By the time that I messed about with cardboard things, I realised that I could actually time holding the West key in the front pouch and clamping it shut with a welt on the bottom of the flap. So I'm actually, what I wanted to was that the knife would be out of view, so it's less offensive. It just looks like that, that's all it is. I wanted it to have a belt loop on the back, so if you wanted to wear it in a belt you could, but it's not that heavy, so it's not that obnoxious round your neck. But the West key performed a purpose of obviously marketing and branding, but an option of seeing that it's Wessex Blades. The other evolution was obviously using the name. Now I've been calling these things Merlin, and I've been chucking names up backwards and forwards, and I almost went for Yvain, which is a mother of someone to do with one of the Knights of the Round Table, because my stuff's quite Arthurian. Merlin, it was a Merlin. I almost went with Tom Thumb, because Tom Thumb was a creation of something. It's like a little dwarf that helped out Merlin, so it's something that came in. But there's a Tom Thumb knife. I think it's like one of those elephant toe fold out little pen knives, and I thought, well, I'm not going to go like that. And so I wanted something that was like a soldier or footman. Anyway, trying to go a little bit more Celtic as opposed to Viking. I looked through a few names of Celtic, like soldier, footman. Kellen is Irish Celtic for warrior. Kellen, Kellen. So I thought, well, I like that. It's very simple, and it's just it did the job that I was after. It's a nice, easy name. Looked on, there's no knife called Kellen. Okay, fine. So, as far as I'm concerned, I've called this knife the Kellen. And then I looked onto the Celtic alphabet to try and do a rune. Now, strictly speaking, Celts didn't really use runes. It's more of a Germanic Viking thing. The alphabet by Celts is something called, what was it? I don't remember the name of it, but when looking through, the actual character for C or K, because it's more phonetic, is a straight line across with 4 lines up, which is the letter C but the sound of a K. I think it's like Agoth or something, or the name of the alphabet. So I was able to think, right, okay, so Kellen has got that little symbol on it. And so in the front pocket I was able to work in the symbol. And then the welt that the flap came over. This is constantly evolving, constantly evolving, constantly evolving. I realised that having the welt on there meant having quite a thick piece of leather on the back of this. This is to hold the West key down. So you got that holding it down. Click, done, and that is really well held. All right, so the popper goes down, clamp. It's held down. That allowed me to also do that same symbol, and I popped it out with yellow thread as well. So, and I got that concept, I worked that, okay fine, that seems to work, and it's all starting to gel and fall in, and I've always wanted to do the little leather thing there, and I just, so I slipped the symbol on there as well. So, as a concept, it's allowed me to deliver everything I wanted in the sheath. I opted for single row, so just, it's going to be too big and bulky if I went to double row. This thing would end up out here and would weigh 10-15% more as well. So I've opted for single row stitching. I went straight through on the grooving on the side just to give it a bit of a old worldy sort of feel. And it works like this. You can wear it around your neck, or you can wear it on your belt. When you take it out, go like that. You take out your knife and you can use your knife. If you had a lanyard, it would just stick out to the side because there's enough room there. Now, so using the knife, by going like that, the popper, you're still holding the West key in, so you can carry on with what you're doing with the knife. Take out your West key, and you can use this West key for flint striking. I've opted for 52-100, and I've got it heat treat, so it's hard. It's actual proper tool still, so you will get strikes off a flint. So you get your West key in there as well, so that saves you using the back of the knife for flint, because this is virtually the same stuff, and it saves you using the back of your knife for the ferro rod. Okay, so you can do bark scraping with that, or this, and then obviously you got the ferro rod on the side there, which is the usual shock cord thing there. In order to put it all back, just slight there, goes back to there, in goes the knife, like that, and there's your West key held in, showing forth. It also keeps, there was something else as well about the old teeth there, the whole concept of these lines, it all just gelled together. It's got this lines in the teeth of the bark shredder, and it's for something that just could have gone 8-9 different ways. I'm really pleased with the way that it's all sort of fell into place. To come up with something that's not too bulky, it's not ridiculously heavy. It can be a youth pack, so 18-year-olds, or gifts to your children, just your way of doing it. It's got enough room for a 50mm belt, or you can wear it around your neck. It's got your West key, it's got your little knife, and it's got a fire steel ferro rod on the side, and all the iconography, as it were, for Kellen is all synced in with the stitching, the motif there, and the little fire steel lanyard emblem for there. It's 2.5 days. But anyway, so that's that complete. Obviously tomorrow and Friday I'll be completing the other. I've got 3, 2 of which are for support, 2 of which are to get some pennies in, and then I'm on to Danelaws and things, pressing on with the backlog, trying to get stuff out for Christmas. But there's introduction to my Kellen neck knife system. There will be an option of just the Kellen, just in a Kydex thing, because it's just like, if I want the Kydex, it'd have been a doddle, because you just do a little sort of fold over thing, 2 or 3 rivets. The West key is a clamp that goes over the top, so it's just a little strap across there, and the West key's pinch fit in, and a ferrule is just a loop and a roll, and that goes on with 2 holes kaduk tongue. You could have rattled it out, but to come up with a concept for the lever is what I've concentrated on, to give some of the people who prefer lever can have this. There are options for Kydex, and a bit more simple mechanically for me to make, but I'm glad that I spent the time, and it's all, as I say, it's all fallen into place to come up with this. And now it means I got a standard mount for the West key, which is held in, which catches the light, and this obviously is a Wessex Blades because it's a West key. The Kellen iconography and motif and everything is forward and can be seen. The knife's out of the way, it's completely unobtrusive, so it's quite a nice sort of discreet system, and any ferro rod with a hole and in the handle that fits on the side, rather than I was doing it in as a book or in some sort of fold over system that I'd have to have a standard size handle. I don't need that now. I can have something that allows any ferro rod. In 5 years time, when it wears out, you can buy another ferro rod and just mount it up. It's done, simple. So thanks for joining me again. It's my Kellen neck knife system. Yeah, a couple of days, but hey, I've done it now. Thanks for joining me again. It's got Wessex Blades.